Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh, Shem Yahushua, Shem Rakakudah, Shalom to the 144,000, and the rest of the elect out there, Shalom to you all. And I'm going to entitle this video, African President, Yes Abortion for Trump. So this right here, I slowed it down. It says, Gabon's president disappoints Africans. So he had a visit. I guess he was in the States. He had a visit. He met Donald J. Trump, the current president of the corporate U.S. And he comes back from his trip, and he you know, a picture speaks 1,000 words. It's going to show where this man is. He's oh, precept just came to mind. Let me go to it. He's in bed with with Babylon. Precept just came to mind. I'm not going to go into a whole lot. I'm not going to make this long anyway. Revelation 17. I'll start from the first verse. The key point is in the fourth verse, but I'll read maybe until the fifth verse or beyond. The doom of Babylon, which we know, the insiders among Israel know that it's talking about, definitely talking about America. Babylon the Great is code for America. And there came, first verse, Revelation 17:1, and there came one of the seven angels, which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore, which is Babylon the Great, which is the U.S., that sitteth upon many waters. The waters, when you go to the 15th, I believe it's the 15th verse, and he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. This is talking about all nations. A great at one time, they used to say this a lot. They used to call America the great melting pot. It says, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication. And it's the second verse. I believe the fourth verse, it says pretty much the same thing. And the inhabitants of the earth, the presidents, the governors, and so forth, have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast. That woman is talking about Babylon the Great, full of names of blasphemy, disrespecting the supreme power in heaven, having 7 heads and 10 horns. That's a makeup of the NATO and the EU. NATO, a number of European nations that came together for military purposes against any attack from Russia, and was part of that also was the United States and Canada. And then you have the EU nations. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, and hand full of the abominations and filthiness of her fornication, corruption. So you go back to the second verse, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, went to bed with, and sold out their people, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication, her philosophies, her policies, her political policies. So this president of this particular country in Africa is definitely a sellout. It says, and upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlot and abominations of the earth. That's definitely talking about Babylon the Great, the U.S. And I saw the woman drunk with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of the Yahushua, because this goes into Rome as well. This is Rome all over again. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. That's all I'm going to read here. So now let's go. Okay, let's go here. Like I said, I slowed it down. Fair use, fair use, fair use. This is Gabon's president disappoints Africans. So here he's coming back from America, I believe. And look at what this UNSI does.
President of Gabon just returned from the United States, waving a MAGA hat. MAGA hat. Bright red, bold letters, and what looks like Donald Trump's autograph right on the front. General Oligui Nguema, coup leader turned president, landed to cheers, smiling and saluting the crowd with a campaign souvenir from another.
So he was a coup leader. Let's go into this. Give me a second here. Let me just write in Gabon. Gabon, Africa. Africa. Okay, let me go to Google. I should put in president, but let's just do this. Let's get some quick information on Gabon, Africa. It's probably a relatively small country in the continent of Africa. Might want to go into the news as well. Okay, so this is Gabon. Okay, this is Equatorial Guinea. So he had to be a Jake. Gabon is a south of Cameroon, and you got Jakes all up in Cameroon. Give me a second here. Okay, it doesn't say anything about the president. Official language, France. Oh, really? They still speak French? Official language is France. French. Population, according to the World Bank, because the World Bank and the IMF most likely issued them loans. Trying to get into the president. Is Gabon a rich or poor country? Gabon is an upper middle income country situated, so they're doing pretty well, all things being considered. Let me go to news. They don't say, okay, the U.S. president, this is 2 weeks ago, U.S. Africa Summit, Trump meets leaders of Gabon, Senegal, and others. The U.S. president met leaders of 5 West African countries. Something that he said in that meeting made this UNSI put a MAGA hat on. Give me a second, y'all. Let me go president. President of Gabon, Africa. This was as of May 3rd. Gabon swears in a ex-military chief Ali Goei as president. So this is the guy, the current president. Gabon swears in ex-military, so it was a coup. Brice Agoli, no, whatever, who led a coup in Gabon, ending decades of Bongo family rule, and swept the elections last month with nearly 95% of the vote. That's a landslide plus. So this guy's definitely backed by Babylon the Great. Revelation 17:2. Matter of fact, I'll go back to that and read it in the NLT. Gabon's ousted President Bongo flies to Angola with family. So they were going to kill him. They're going to put him on trial. So this was a military coup. Give me a second. Let me come back over here and let me go to the NLT. So you can easily find out which president of a country is in bed with Babylon the Great. The kings of the world, meaning the presidents, the governors, the prime ministers, have committed adultery with her, Babylon. And the people who belong to this world have been made drunk by the wine of her immoralities. Remember, Kamala went over to, what part of Africa was that? Was that Uganda? I believe it was Uganda. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Which the Ugandan people are Jake for the most part. And she came with a checkbook. She wanted to go to the government, the parliament, and change the laws for against happy people. That there's no law. It's not criminal. It's not a criminal act to be happy with a G. So they was like, "Nah, we ain't gonna change the laws." So that's when America says, "Okay, we got to get him out of there, and we got to put one of our people in." So this guy, the president of Gabon, let me go back to it, is definitely an insider. And see, the Americans are waking up. They start more to get into, geopolitics, world politics. So here he goes. As soon as he calls, "Hey, it's the president of Gabon, the new president." What does he do? The first thing he does, he puts on a MAGA hat on.
Country's election. The message? Unclear.
I used the word disappointing in the beginning of this because of the promises this guy made to his people.
That's
and
like a nigga in America wearing a Hulk Hogan
were
shirt.
When the coup happened. If you remember.
MAGA hat. Yes. Turned from the United States, waving. So the president of...
Watch this clip. We'll come back and discuss.
So the president of Gabon just returned from the United States, waving a MAGA hat. Yes, that MAGA hat. Bright red, bold letters, and what looks like Donald Trump's autograph right on the front. General Olugui Nguema, coup leader turned president.
And you mean to tell me they don't see what the fuck is going on?
Landed to cheers, smiling and saluting the crowd with a campaign souvenir from another country's election. The message? Unclear.
I used the word disappointing in the beginning of this video because of the promises this guy made to his people and how excited they were when the coup happened. If you remember, Nguma became the leader because of a coup. He basically ousted the previous leader Ali Bongo, and then took office. So people were very excited. They were so tired of the Bongos, the family that ran the country before this guy took over through a coup d'etat. They were tired of them because even before Ali Bongo, it was his father that was in power. So people were so excited. We reported it on this channel when they went out on the streets.
And you're gonna stab all you unsies in the back. Anyway, I ain't gotta say no more. You can watch the rest of it if you like. I got what I was supposed to get out of it. So another sellout, another. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me read this again. The kings of the world have committed adultery with her. And adultery meaning went to bed with her. Doing things, getting marching orders from the U.S. And the people who belong to this world, the planet, have been made drunk by the wine of her immorality. So the U.S. got this guy in their back pocket. So if there's mineral resources that they need to get, no big deal. He'll sign a law saying, yes, U.S. companies can come in. And that's when the U.S. companies come in. Okay? Anyway, shalom, on to the next.